What's going on, you guys? We're back with here with another video, and today we're gonna. This is basically gonna be our way too early NBA. What's the one I'm looking for? Predictions, basically. How I think how far every team could make it. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, do everything what you have to do. Anyway, let's first thing first. Let's review our tiers. So we have championship contender, which means do I think they can win a championship this year? Finals appearance, they may have not. They could be the runner up to win a championship. Playoff appearance, you just make the playoff. Play in, same thing as the playoff, but just the play in. Just missed out, which means like you just missed out on the entire postseason, and then third Poland, which means you do awfully horrible. This, I will, I will, I won't be biased at all. I promise. Though, yeah, let's just get into it. Starting with the Atlanta Hawks. They made a pre-acquisition. They got Kristaps Porzingis. They still have Trae Young. I can see them making the playoffs. I can see the Hawks making an impact. I think they can really do some damage in the East. So now I don't see them being like a 1 or 2 seed by chance, but I see them doing something. Up next, I have the Boston Celtics. Just they lost. Speaking of Porzingis, they lost Porzingis. They lost Holiday. Taking them down for the season. So all they really have is Derek White and Jaylen Brown. I think the Celtics will still make the playoffs, but it won't be like a 1 or 2 seed. I think they'll be like a 5 or 6 seed. I don't see the Celtics doing really anything because Jason Tatum is injured. They lost Porzingis and Holiday. So, I'm next up the Nets. I think the Nets are gonna do pretty bad. I don't see them going anywhere near. They do drafted a bunch of rookies, but we'll have to see where that lines up. Up next are the Hornets. Now, for the Hornets, these past few seasons with the Hornets and bad because I always thought the Hornets were gonna be a good play-in team because they have LaMelo Ball. But now they're gonna do poorly. I don't know how much is on LaMelo Ball's contract, but I don't see him doing anything with the Hornets. I really don't see it. So that's really all I have to say with the Hornets. Now up next are the Bulls. Let's just admit they're making the plan like they always done. That the plan was even established. Gonna make the play and then lose in their first round, and then barely do anything else. So, yeah. Anyway, up next are the Cavs. It's hard to rank the Cavs because they're definitely up there, but I definitely have them could make in the finals, but I also could have them winning a champ. I'm gonna say that I think they're a contender. They still have their core pieces: Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, Garland. They still have their core pieces. They still have everything they had from last year. The Celtics downgrade. The Celtics downgrade. The Knicks are there as really their only competition now are the Knicks. That's really. I think the Cavs can make a finals appearance. A champion. I think the Cavs could be a contender. Way too early into the year. Up next on the Mavs. Okay, the Mavs. I'm not gonna lie. I think they can make a finals appearance. After the Luka trade to the Lakers, the Mavs they they may have traded Luka, but they have Cooper Flag, Kyrie, AD. They don't have Google, including the experience level of Clay Thompson, and they have good pieces along the line with Black, Davis, and Kyrie. I think the Mavs could make a run here. Next are the Nuggets. Listen, I don't care how old this Denver team is. I think the Nuggets are a contender. I think the Nuggets could win a championship at any given moment. If you have Nikola Jokic, who is arguably the best player in the league right now, you have Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. They also improved their bench depth, which I think was their number one problem. But I truly think the Nuggets can run it back again. Next on the Detroit Pistons. I think they'll make a play. They shocked a whole bunch of people, including myself, of winning a championship. And I mean not a championship, just making the playoffs in general. So I think the Pistons will do that again. They will make an impact because there's less options than people of teams who could win the East. Like the Cavs, the Knicks, maybe Milwaukee, the the Hawks, the the Pistons. I think could be on that list. So, and they shocked a whole bunch of people. So I think the Pistons can make an impact. Next on the Golden State Warriors is Steph Curry. We get to see a full season of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. So I could say the Warriors will make a playoff appearance. It's Steph Curry. He's making it happen once again. I don't think Golden State could make it to the finals, but because that Western Conference is literally loaded. But I think the Warriors will just make it to the playoffs, maybe past the first and the second. And if they have an easy road, they could make it to the conference final if they can. So bear with me on that one with the Warriors. Next on the Rocket. I think the Rocket, all of finals, could make it to the finals. Yeah, you lost Jalen Green, but you have Kevin Durant. And when you have Kevin Durant, it's pretty hard to come back from it. Because you still have Sengun, you have KD now. Amen Thompson is still there. The Rockets could make an impact. Oh, this one. This one is probably gonna be the most sad to rank. The Indiana Pacers. You lost. You don't have Halliburton for an entire year. You lost Miles Turner to the Milwaukee Bucks. There's Siakam and a bunch of good role players is on that Indiana team. I think they'll be like a 70, but I think they'll have to get the 70 in the play in. Listen, it sucks. If they don't have kept Miles Turner, Halliburton didn't go down with an injury, I could have literally. Listen, if they don't have Halliburton and Miles Turner, they'd be here. But because Halliburton and Miles Turner are gone, they're there. Sadly, but true. I hate to break that, Pacers fan. I feel bad, so bad. But hey, you have Caitlin Clark. You can watch Caitlin Clark. Anyway, up next are the Los Angeles Clippers. They're old, but they have experience, so they make the playoffs. Harden, Kawhi. Now you have Bradley Beal, Chris Paul back in LA. Can the Clippers get it done finally? Now up next are my Los Angeles Lakers. Trust me, I promised myself not to get biased. Alright. I'm being 100% truthful. But we can make the finals, alright? I think this is the time we can make the final. Okay, this is not strictly biased, alright? I'm being 100% honest. Just hear me out. We have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, a 41-year-old LeBron James going into like a 23rd season, and we have his center, DeAndre Ayton. We re-signed Jackson Hayes. We have a few good role players along with us. I think we can make impact. I think we can make the finals happen. Trust. I think we can make the finals happen here. I truly think that. Now, alright. Moving on. Grizzlies. They actually, due to how stacked this Western Conference is, I'm actually thinking the Grizzlies are gonna be in the play-in. There's just too many good teams out there in the West, and the Grizzlies. I take the Nuggets, Mavericks, Rockets, Lakers, Warriors, and sadly even the Clippers over the Grizzlies. So I think the Grizzlies will sadly have to be in the play-in here. So that pretty much. Alright, up next are the Miami Heat. I think the Heat will be the playing team. They don't have Jimmy Butler anymore. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero are gonna have to rock this team out. So I think they'll just make it to the play-in here. So that's basically all I have with the Heat. Up next are the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't have Damian Lillard anymore. Just Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just don't make the playoffs, but I think them at like a 60 here. That's pretty much all I have to say with the Bucks. Timberwolves. Oh, Minnesota. I think that hear me out. After losing 2 straight Western Conference Final, I think the Timberwolves have solidified themselves as a contender to win it all. Because I think the Timberwolves have the pieces in store. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. I think they don't have Jaden McDaniels. I think they have a good role player. Mike Conley's still there. Do the Timberwolves? Is this the year the Timberwolves make a run for it all? Up next are the Pelicans. If a healthy Zion is there, I think they'll just miss out. I think they'll just miss out. And they'll be like, they'll like be 11th seed with like a 1 game behind the 10th seed. If that's only if a healthy Zion Williamson is there. If there isn't a healthy Zion, when there's no healthy Zion, here. But if there is, there. And if they're lucky, maybe even here. But as of now, I think they'll just miss out. Now, so then so forth. Up next are the New York Knicks. They're a finals appearance. Not really too much good teams out there in the East. Really, the only competition really not the Cavs. No Celtic, no Tatum, lost a bunch of pieces. Pacers, no Halliburton, and lost a few pieces. Bucks, lost Dame. They get Miles Turner and so forth. Um, I think the Knicks could make a breakaway to make it to the finals. Do I think this is the year for the Knicks? Maybe. Thunder, this should be self-explanatory. Next on the OKC Thunder. This is pretty self-explanatory. They're the current champions. They also arguably have the best player in the league in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, all still there. It, the, it's the Thunder. I think they'll still they can still win a championship contender. No questions asked. The Magic. Um, honest, to be brutally honest, this might spill out some little bit of what the one I'm looking for. What the one? A little bit of surprise, I think. But I think the Magic are gonna have to make the play. Are gonna have to be in the play-in. Brutally honest here. Just brutally being honest. I wanna put them here, but I don't really see that happening. Though, yeah, Desmond Bain is a good pickup, and they don't have Paolo, but I think the Magic can still do some damage. In fact, they think they could shock at a good 7 or 8 seed. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, the Sixers. I think the Sixers will just miss. If I'm being brutally real. Uh, if Joel Embiid's healthy, then they'll make it here. But no Embiid, I don't see them doing that at all. They'll just miss down. I really don't see that really going on. I It's Joel Embiid. He always chokes in the playoffs. Um, I just don't see the 76ers making that happen. Next though is the Phoenix Suns. The Suns, they're kind of in the mess right now. But I could see them making a play-in spot happening. You may have lost Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, but you still have Devin Booker. You have Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. That's good. So, to be brutally honest, I think the Suns are gonna get a play-in at best. Up next are the Blazers. I think the Blazers will do poorly. Yes, they have Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard is injured. He is not going to be playing this entire season. So I want to put the Blazers higher than this, but I just don't. Especially with this stacked Western Conference with them, I just don't see it happening. Now up next will be the Sacramento Kings. Um, I think the Kings will be playing at best. I see them playing as best. They don't have De'Aaron Fox anymore. All you have is the Monsters Sabonis. I see the Kings just being that playing team and immediately get eliminated. Like that 10th that I was talking about only with the Pelicans. Next on the San Antonio Spurs. Now I think this is the year we see if Victor Wembanyama comes back, from his blood clot. I think the Spurs will make the playoffs here with Victor Wembanyama, and we'll see Wemby in the playoffs for the first time. Next on the Raptors, I think, the Raptors, they're gonna do poorly. They don't have anything special going on for them. So, moving on. Same with the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards. The Jazz, they got no future ahead of them. Same with the Wizards. They don't really have anything going on for them. So, yeah, that's just about gonna cover it. This is what I think, how I think how far every NBA team is going to do. So, as always, like I said very early in this video, like, comment, subscribe to everything, and I'll catch you guys later.